So, Mikel Arteta took over in his first game for Arsenal against Bournemouth yesterday, and we had a 1-1 draw. I mean, it's not exactly the result that we wanted, but as we know in past history, going away to Bournemouth with a team Arsenal is never the easiest thing for us. I think we've dropped quite a few points at Bournemouth, and a couple of times we've dropped points from coming from behind. But with a new man in charge, it's more about seeing progression and direction. And yesterday we saw plenty of that. We saw Arteta stick with very much a side that Ljungberg was going with starting with Reece Nelson on the right wing, Mesut Ozil starting again, which is nice to see, and it was encouraging signs yesterday. We had Mesut Ozil was done what he does best, and that's getting into pockets, getting into space and putting through balls. And I think if we had two strikers yesterday, that would have been a lot more on form. Three actually, the three forward players in Aubameyang, Lacazette and Nelson, being a bit more clinical, we would have got the 3 points, I think, yesterday. What was really good to see is, I know a lot of people were excited about the fact that Unai Emery, when he first came in, they saw passion on the sidelines, they saw shouting and fist pumping. But what I saw with Arteta, and one specific point, was Mikel Arteta shouting on the sidelines for I think it was Granit Xhaka to press. Xhaka pressed high up, won the ball back, and we got on a counter-attack. And that's what we're likely to see more of from Mikel Arteta's Arsenal team. And we also got to remember that one of the defensive tactics that Emery instilled into Arsenal was this standing off kind of defending. Stand off, back off, till they got to the edge of the area. And then we'd sort of put a little bit of a press on when we were defending from in our half, which never made sense to me. So now we're going to have to eradicate that from the subconscious and essentially go a new way. And it's the way that many people want to see. It's the press from up top as high as you can, win the ball back early and hit them on the counter. And that's what I think we're going to see more of. It's going to take time, but again, I'm still excited. I'm still excited to see how this works out. I'm still excited to see this Mikel Arteta team come to fruition. What we do need to see more of is a bit more confidence from our forward players. And it's not surprising that they're lacking a bit of confidence, especially players like Lacazette, especially players like Reece Nelson, who in the start of his career looked very, very, it looked like there's a lot of potential, but it's kind of faltered out a bit. But that comes with being a young, up-and-coming player. I think consistency with his appearances on the pitch will add to his consistencies on the pitch in general, where he grows his confidence, because two managers or three managers have seen him, and four managers if we include Arsene Wenger, and four managers have played him. In fact, the two most recent managers have started him over Nicolas Pepe. That to me says a lot. It says a lot. What Nicolas Pepe is doing in the last couple of games which I've seen is, when he has come on, he's looked like he wants to. He's looked like he wants it. He's not hiding, and that's what we've got to come to expect from Nicolas Pepe. If what some say is he doesn't have to do it in training, well, I'm sorry, you do. I don't care. £72 million, 150 million. I don't care. You can't expect to go to a new club, have two new managers, and not do the business in training, because that's where they're going to see you. That's what this manager wants. He's asked for passion and aggression on the pitch, and he's asked for the same sort of energy and determination when they're in training, because good habits breed good habits, breed good results. And And I know there's cynics out there, and there's still cynics, but they can't really come away yesterday with not seeing any sort of progression, because for me, we're moving in the right direction. Unfortunately, and other news, it looks like, for me, unfortunately, it looks like Granit Xhaka's on his way to Jurgen Klinsmann's Hertha Berlin. It looks like probably words were had after the issues with his shouting at the section of the fans, and it looks like it for both parties, it's probably best to part ways. I mean, Mikel Arteta did say that the slate was wiped clean, but I think some of the fans are struggling to let go of it, to be honest. But it means we're going to have to get in a replacement, and the replacement that has been touted about is Rabiot, a very talented central midfield player, formerly of PSG, now at Juventus, but he's not really hit the ground running since he's gone to Juventus. What comes with this very, very, very talented player, one of the most talented players of his generation I'm talking about talent, I'm not talking about best, I'm talking about talent, because he's very renowned, world-renowned from a youngster, is his attitude. His attitude has stopped him from getting into the France team, and his attitude, probably, to be honest, has got him stopping his consistent performances as in the PSG team. But this is what I say. One thing Arsenal used to do is go for these type of players, and we went for this type of player when we got Robin van Persie. At the time, it was Arjen Robben was the player that was touted as, it was Robin and Van Persie that were the two great hopes coming from Holland at the time, and Van Persie supposedly had the bad attitude. So we took Van Persie on a discount cut price because Robin had gone for the big money, and Man United and Chelsea were both after him. We got Robin van Persie. It took a couple of years for him to settle. He had his issues with disciplinary issues for a couple of years, but then after that we got the Robin van Persie that probably goes down in history in our club and in the Premier League history. So I'm willing to take these kind of risks, because we need to. We're not going to get them players like the people keep touting about world class. Well, world class, we're going to have to start making world class again. And that comes from players like this, who maybe haven't in themselves made the best career so far, or maybe just haven't come up with the best potential that they were sort of touted to be. And we've had that for many years with Henry when he went to Juventus, with Bergkamp, with Vieira. We all knew these players were quality players, but for some reason their moves didn't work out. So we came up and polished them off and made them the players they are. So again, it looks like we will be doing business in January. It looks like we will be doing business in January, which I mean, it's a good start, because we get to see what Arteta's going to bring, and I'm excited for the next game at Chelsea. I know Chelsea hasn't been in great form, but it doesn't matter. It's a London derby. We will see a lot of passion and determination, because that's what you can always. If you lose a game, but you've seen the work rate and the passion and desire of players, you can always forgive a loss. But onwards and upwards, come on Arsenal.